Okay, I want to make sure my mic is. So, 4 ways women push love away. And I know a lot of those women who are pushing love away are the woman who is on the dating scene right now who is saying, I want a partner, but they don't know that they're working against themselves when it comes to relationship. And so they're out there saying that they want to date, they want a man, but it's not happening for them. And that's because they are pushing love away. I hope my mic is working and I hope you guys are hearing me. If you're on right now, let me know if you could hear me in the chat, right? Please. So, one way women push love away is by focusing on the negative, right? They focus on the fact that they had a breakup. They focusing on that no man is good. They focus on every relationship drama that they could find. And that is because they are not healed. And so because they're not healed and they're still in pain, they look for any relationship problems to focus on. And that solidify the feeling or the negativity that they have in their heart when it comes to relationship. And so they will look for the relationship podcasts that have drama. They will watch TV shows that have drama because they want to focus on the negativity. Now, if you say you want love, right? And you say you're looking for a man, or even if you're looking for a woman, why would you focus on negativity? Because when you focus on negative energy, then that's all you are going to attract. So, as a woman, if you want a man, you should stay away from those negative shows. And so, if you're a woman who love those negative shows, those negative TV drama, then you are not healed. There is something inside of you that is calling and is reaching for those negativity. And maybe you need to book a session with me, or maybe you need to go to counseling, but there is something inside of you that want to see those negativity, and that will push any man from coming into your life, right? Talking about if you want to attract a man, I have a course, how to attract your soulmate. And so if you're interested in that, you could look into the description in this video and you could see the course, how to attract your soulmate, right? Number 2, who needs a man? A lot of women are saying that nowadays. And in some cases, I can't blame them because I'm a woman and I see some of the stuff that is going on, right? And so there's a lot of women now who is like, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. And that's because some of you men, you show up out of integrity. You will act like you want a woman when you don't. But the reason why you as a woman is attracting those men is because you need healing. Water seeks its own level. And that is the reason why you keep on attracting man who is broken. So those women who are saying, who needs a man? Is the women who are super independent. They could take care of themselves. They could financially, they are secure. They could pay their own bills. And there are those women who can even satisfy themselves even if they have an urge. And when you have an urge as a woman, you could take care of it and it's guaranteed that that urge is going to be fulfilled, right? So the women are like, if I could pay my bills, if I could satisfy myself, then why do I need a man? Because the man is going to come in with headaches. But those women are still, they're still hurting, right? They're afraid if they drop down their guards and give relationship and love a chance, that the man is going to hurt them. Now, there is nothing wrong with women being independent. I am an advocate for women being independent. I'm an advocate for a woman having their own money, because when you have your own money and when you could take care of yourself, you approach relationship differently. You are not going to look for a man based on money, based from desperation. You are going to go in a relationship with somebody who is going to enhance your life. It doesn't mean that you still don't want him to like buy you dinner, you still don't want support somewhere, somehow, but that is not going to be why you go into a relationship, right? And as I said, there is nothing wrong with being independent because I'm an independent woman. But if you are hyper independent, where you're like, I don't need a man, tell me if you're hearing me. Tell me, the person who's on, can you just touch the chat and just let me know if you're hearing me? Now, the woman who is like, I don't need a man, those women, some of them is hyper independent, where they're like, I'm a strong woman, right? So I don't need a man. And they're like, if a man comes in and is trying to help them, they're like, no, 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 I don't want you to help me. I could do everything by myself. No, come on. I'm an independent woman and I know that I can't do everything by myself and I don't want to be anything by myself. So the women who are hyper independent, those women are pushing men away, and they will say, right, I need a relationship. They will say there is no good man out there just because of that. But they are the one who's not giving the man a chance to like help them. And when a woman push love away, the women who are hyper independent, I am strong, I don't need anyone, I could do everything by myself, they close down their heart. So they lock off their receptivity, which is a feminine trait for them to like receive stuff. So they put up this guard around their heart. They put up this guard about everything. And that's because they've been hurt before. And because they've been hurt before, right? It's a protective mechanism. And you can't blame the woman. It's a protective mechanism. So if a man comes in and is patient and is super understanding, you will see those women who is like, I don't need a man. You will see those women crumble and you will see those women soft, right? And so the women who say, I don't need a man, they are lonely. Some of them are lonely, right? And they need somebody to come in and just to give them love and give them understanding, because as I said, it's a protective mechanism. The number 3 of the women who push love away, they push love away, they want love but they push it away, is they are so focused on their children. A lot of women, once they have a relationship that doesn't work, right, and they're a mother, they will say, I am just going to give up on relationship and I do not want any man. I'm just going to focus on my child. But what they will do is that they focus on their child and they give up on them. So everything is centered around their child and there's nothing about them. And so when those child move away, right, they are going to feel lonely, and some of them will want to interfere with their children's life, especially if the women have a son. Some of them don't have healthy boundaries and they will want to be in that son's life. Some of the women who focuses on their children would even go on to say, if the child is out living their life and doesn't call them too much, they will say, oh, I gave up all my life for you and now you don't remember to call me. But a woman needs to know it's your duty to take care of your children, but it's not your child's duty to take care of you. When your child is all grown up, they have to live their life. But just because the woman spend all her life focusing on her child, building her child, and she doesn't have, now when the child is grown and move away, and she doesn't have a life of her own, she is going to feel lonely, and sometimes she is going to feel resentful. Another way women push love away, right? So they push the thing that they say they want most, and that is love. I see a lot of women out there I see a lot of single women out there, and they said they desire a relationship, right? But they're working against themselves. And so a lot of them, they stay stuck in grief. Whew. Women are the keepers of records. And because they are the keepers of records, they could hold on to stuff. And so if they've been in a relationship, right, and the relationship is not working, and the relationship broke up, instead of healing and letting go, they keep that grief in their body, in their soul. And some of them, if a man approaching them, the first thing that they say, they bring up the grief and they bring up what happened in the relationship. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm talking to somebody and they bring up the past, immediately I am leaving, because I could tell that person is not healed. Right? I could tell that person have a lot of burden that they're carrying, and I don't want that, right? So a lot of women are stuck in grief and they don't want to let that grief go. They don't want to let that grief go, because they think if they hold on to the grief that they will remember what happened to them. And so they hold on to the pain in a relationship. But guess what? Men have been in pain and women have been in pain. And if you want to accept love in, you have to let go of what happened in the past, right? Nobody's telling you that you have to forget, but you can stay in grief. It's burdening you down, right? It is unhealthy for you. And no one wants to be in a relationship with somebody who can't get over the past. And so there's a lot of women who I talk to daily on my live, and they're like, the only thing that they could bring up is negativity. The only thing that they could bring up is something that happens to them. And those are the women who are looking for love, who's out there saying that they're single and they're searching. How can you be single and searching, and every opportunity you get to be with a person or to connect with a person, the thing that you talk about most is what happened to you in the past? Everybody plays the fool. Everybody have been hurt at one time in their life. And so if you want to move on, if you want to attract love, you need to let go and heal. Talking about attract love, if you're a woman who have been struggling for a long time and you have tried the dating and nothing have been working for you, don't just say, I give up, it's never going to happen. Sometimes you need to try other things. There's different ways, and a lot of you don't know your blind spot. And so if you want to learn a different way how to attract a man or attract love, you should look in the bio on my course, How to Attract Your Soulmate. It's a 21-day course, and there is so much practical thing that you need. You see, there is relationship in abundance. There is man in abundance, but you can't see it. All you are so focusing on the negativity. You're so focusing on the grief. You're so focusing on what happened to you that it's blinding you from seeing what's in front of you. It's blinding you from seeing that there are good men out there. But because you're not healed, you have this judgment. So for instance, what I see, and I see it on Pop the Balloon, is they're on the show and they're like, I want love. Or the woman is like, I am here because I'm looking for love. And when a man show up, they're like, I don't like the way you dress. I don't like your shoes. I don't like the hair. I don't like something. So they are so judgmental. A person's clothes could change. A person's shoes could change. Maybe the person was having a bad day, but they just judge automatically just based on how the person dressed. So they pop the balloon even before getting to know the person. By the person just walking in, sometimes they just pop the balloon just by his physical look. And I have seen women take back their balloon based on how, when the guy present theirself, when the guy start talking, they're like, I judge you prematurely based on how you look and not by the words that's coming out of your mouth or the connection, right? So don't do that. Another way how women will judge men, test men they're based on their past is say a man is 35 and the man had been married before. A woman will say, well, why is he divorced? Maybe there was something wrong with him, because if he was a good man, he wouldn't have gotten divorced. Now, as a woman, a lot of you have been divorced. A lot of you have been in a relationship and the relationship haven't worked. Should the man judge you based on the fact that you're single or based on the fact that you're divorced? No. Because sometimes people get divorced because they jump into a marriage too early. The relationship could even end. Hey, if you're on here and you want to say hi, you can. The relationship could end just because people outgrow each other. So you can't just judge a person based by that. Get to know the person. Talk to the person, because you wouldn't want anyone to judge you, because us as women, right? We get judged all the time. We get judged if we're like 35 and people will say, you're 35, you don't have a kid. There have to be something wrong with you. Why aren't you married? So because we as a woman who understand that, we have to understand and have an open mind when it comes to relationship. Because the same relationship that person have with his ex, it's not going to be the same relationship with you. People change, and your energy and that person energy is totally different. So you can't judge a person based by that. And I'm not telling you not to have standard. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't think, right? Of course you should think. Of course you have to have your eyes open, but you need to give people a chance if you want love. So some ways you push love away is, number one, you focus on the negativity. You focus on negativity. If you want to attract love, cut off all those negative shows, those negative dramas that you normally focus on, and go watch stuff. Go watch Hallmark. Go look at people who are in love. Go talk to married couple. Get into the frequency of love, and you will attract love. Now, I know the next one is women who said, I don't need a man. And at one point in my life where I was super independent, I used to say, I don't need a man. But I have grown and I'm wiser now, and I know I need someone in my life. So I need someone in my life, right? Even for emotional support, for intimacy support, just to know that I have somebody there that is mine, that I feel safe with, I could be vulnerable with, is priceless, right? And so when a woman say, I don't need a man, and they're like, I am strong, I don't need any help, that is, you're pushing man away. If you're on here and you want to ask me some questions, you could go ahead. The next is, they focus so much on their children, right? And they're living their life through their children. Your children is going to go away. Your children is going to one day go away. And I know a lot of moms, they don't want to teach their children how to be independent. They want the child to do everything for their child, because they want that child to continuously be dependent on them. Next, a lot of people stay stuck in grief. And one thing I didn't touch on when I say stuck in grief is that your partner could pass away and you're stuck in that depression. You are stuck in, I don't want to forget that person. So you feel that when you're stuck in the pain, that person will always be present with you. And you feel that if the person passed away, that, oh, I feel guilty if I'm supposed to love again. But guess what? You are still living. The person is gone. And I know you love that person, but it's time for you to live and to have a good life. So those are the 4 ways. I think I gave you maybe one extra on how women push love away. So if you're a woman who have been struggling with love and you are looking for a different way to attract your person, then you could look into the bio. I have how to attract your soulmate course, right? It's $297, and that is for 21 days. All right, guys, because nobody's talking, I am going to end this live. I see you next time.